Hi, I'm ephiepen. If you watched the last video, you know that I redrew a piece of old art of mine. It was drawn in MS Paint, and I'll be doing that once again today with this Hatsune Miku piece that I made in 2014. Wow! That was a long time ago. I'm getting old. Before I really get started talking about this, I hope you're not too attached to these sketches at the start because, bam. Whoa! I use none of them. I have this tendency to start drawings with really good intentions of, challenging myself and doing a different type of composition or pose, but then it's too hard, so I do something simple. Today, I really want to talk about my art style journey. I started off as an anime artist, and I'm still one. Obviously. You might be curious why I decided to do that instead of switching to another art style along the way. And well, I actually did consider it along the way. I started drawing around September of 2013, which means that we're approaching my 12th year of drawing. Yay! When I started drawing, I was like a lot of other people. I started with this very common anime art style. This particular one right here. Something I was getting really into at the time was Hatsune Miku and Vocaloid, which is why I redrew this piece from Michi M's Freely Tomorrow. If you're not familiar with the song, it is a classic, and Michi M is also a very classic Vocaloid composer and producer. And so when I was a kid, I found this piece of art by the artist Yayoi, and I loved it so much I wanted to redraw it, and so I did, and it turned out like this. The resemblance really is just uncanny, isn't it? You might be wondering how any of this relates to the title, and well, that's because there are more redraws in between the original and the one that I'm working on today. I will show them on screen now. Something you might notice is that these last two drawings in particular are very different from how I draw today. I noticed that too, and I actually thought about it, and I realized that those are two really interesting periods of my life. At some point I decided I wanted to shift over into something more realistic. I was friends with a girl in high school. She was my best friend at the time. We used to call on Discord sometimes after school and we would draw together, and this one day she told me this. You should really switch from anime to something more realistic. And I asked why. Why would I do that? And she said, well, because everyone starts out drawing anime, but eventually everyone also moves on and does something more mature. Oh, she basically told me that I would not make it as an artist if I continued to draw in an anime art style. I know what you might be thinking right now. Effie, you didn't listen to her, right? You wouldn't listen to something so obviously incorrect, right? Well, this is one of those moments in my life where I really wish I could turn back time and redo how I did the interaction, because the way I responded to her was I decided, yeah, you know what, she's right. I really need to change my art style. I need to grow up. But I realized that what she was really asking me to do was not in my best interest, but in hers. She was asking me to do something and to change my art style to fit the style that she preferred, and not the style that I prefer. And while you might be curious, what happened afterwards since you ended up listening to her? Well, I slowly but surely began the painful shift. I just wasn't inspired to draw anymore. I was frustrated because my art was no longer anime, but it also was not realistic either. So for about a year, I wouldn't really draw. I was frustrated. I did eventually find my footing again. I found something I liked to do. I really enjoyed taking pictures of myself and using those as references and following them very closely. Well, you might be wondering, well, what's your beef with realism then? I want to go back to my high school drawing. It was the fact that I was trying to go for something realistic, and you can tell I still didn't really succeed. That is not realism. I don't really care for it now looking back. It's not the art style I ever want to pursue again. I'm grateful over this period of my art journey because it is what taught me a lot about anatomy and proportions, and I have taken a lot of the knowledge that I gained from that period into my artwork now, and that's really important to me. I think what I was drawing in to begin with is something that was much more honest to me. Undeniably, what I was doing for years was drawing the way other people preferred me to draw. And that is the worst possible way you could ever create art. But you might notice something, that over time, after I graduated high school and entered art school, that my art style wasn't quite where it is today, but it began to shift back in the other direction. I think it says a lot that when I was left to my own devices and I wasn't listening to other people's opinions anymore, that I ended up returning right back to where I started. I think that there have been a lot of artists in the past who have been in very similar situations to me, where they felt like they had to do something more realistic when maybe they really didn't want to. Which is why the title of this video is Realism, Pshaww. It's my hand, bitch! I do what I want. Of course, if you're somebody who likes to draw realistically and you're saying, well, what about me? I draw realism. Is that a bad thing? No. It's not a bad thing if you like it. To be honest, I don't have anything against realism. The title is clickbait. I lied to you. I wanted you to watch this video so I could get views. Oh, come on, guys. You know how it is. I'm a YouTuber. We're liars. By the way, did you notice this is a different model today? I've never shown this one off before. It's new. Or you want to see the whole thing? Wow. I promised last time I would actually talk about my process. I'll be doing that now. This Miku piece, I decided I want to prioritize what makes me happy. So what makes me the happiest to draw? Big shiny eyes. My goal for this piece is to make it as sparkly and shiny as possible because I feel like sparkle shiny stuff really suits the idol image that Miku has sometimes. I had a hard time drawing her hair. You might have seen earlier on or right now. I don't know where we're at in the speed paint. I redrew the bangs like 3 times, I think. I had a hard time getting the shapes right, which is weird because in the past I feel like I never really struggled with that before, but I might be overthinking it now. I told you guys, I always overthink when I'm in Clip Studio Paint. I hope the takeaway from this video is to draw however you want and to not listen when other people tell you what to do if it's not something that you want to do. And are you ready? Ba-da-da-da! Wow! It's the finished piece! Yay! This is how Miku turned out. I'm really happy about it. If you don't like this piece, that's too damn bad because I like it. What I think the worst part about these videos I make though is that it's just a grim reminder of the fact that I'm getting so old. Wow, great job. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed spending your time with me today. Please! If you have any suggestions or characters you'd like to see me draw in the future, you can put those in the comments. I will consider it. Well, I'm gonna go now. I have an ultimate game to play. See ya.